this is an introduction to the little corner of my bedroom that I like to hang out in. My name is Kat, and it's my YouTube channel. This is the said corner of my room. Animal Crossing stickers on it. And these are from journaling stickers. It's a little bit dirty right now, but I got this at Savers. It's actually a quote from Van Gogh. It's from the 80s, I guess. It's a little piece of glass panel that it's painted, and a Junjito poster. So first off, I'm going to talk about what's on this shelf right here. And then I'm going to talk about my bookshelf, which I'm very excited about. It's very messy right now, but it's the idea. It's the idea. The aforementioned mess. Disgusting. First off, I have this Hello Kitty, this My Melody, and this Karopi that I got from, I think it was a Goodwill like 5 years ago. They're just sitting on top of all these little discs, and here's my Hello Kitty. And this is the first shelf. First off, the Roald Dahl collection. I did read some of these when I was younger, and they're very close to my heart. And I do like Lemony Snicket, so got a Twilight Sparkle over here, and here I don't really know what to do with this. So right here I have a PlayStation 1 and a South Park game. I got Season 8 South Park and the Cult of Cartman DVD. And for some reason a GameCube controller, and I got these fractured but whole, see I said but whole, pins. And the game right here. We got a Face in the Crowd, The Great Dictator, Malcolm in the Middle, Season 1. That's pretty rare. Ren and Stimpy. This is a great shelf. As we go up, you see this gigantic Wonka bar. It's not really a Wonka bar. It's like some old coupons that came in my DVD for Charlie Chocolate Factory. So categorically, these are kind of lost. But if you start from the right, you have animated movies like My Little Pony, Teen Titans Go, Frozen, and then drastically Hereditary and Marriage Story, Rocky Horror Picture Show. Then it goes back to Ratatouille. I think I was talking to myself about the high end. Of course, you got the South Park movie, Eraserhead, Metalocalypse. This is basically just horror and some Dexter. And Kill Bill, Devil's Rejects, and these are some movies from my childhood. Corpse Bride, Edward Scissorhands, Paranorman, Coraline. These three movies I loved the most as a kid. No, what for? Curious George, Care Bears, Kingdom of Caring, Care Bears, and Powerpuff Girls, which sadly does not have a disc in it anymore. I do not know where it went, but it's still there for decoration as of now. And there you go. Down here on the bottom shelf of this, which I got at Target, we've got some comics over here. These are like single issues that I have. For some reason this is very nostalgic for me. I guess I like read this as a little child. I love this. This is a great book. Jen Vasquez. Amazing writer and illustrator. And I guess cartoonist. Also have this little story. It's kind of similar to that in a way that I find it a little bit nostalgic. And in the same collection, we have another Jen Vasquez. Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. A little too graphic, but it is a graphic novel. This is one of the only Batman comics I've ever bought, and like I was very happy I started reading this. read The Killing Joke. Alan Moore. I like Watchmen, so I really wanted to read this, and it did not disappoint me. And yeah, okay, Joker's actually scary in this one. I have The Land of Ooh, Sugary Shorts. So this is something that was gifted to me, and it has amazing artwork in it. I recommend that everybody read this. They're all like different artists, and I just love every page of this. Is really cute. I recommend it. I recommend. Something also nostalgic to me is this, for some reason, that I have. I remember looking at this all the time. Not even reading it at some points. I just looked at the pages, and honestly, it's even great just for that. But who doesn't like The Simpsons? I love The Simpsons, and Treehouse of Horrors is great. So, the spine-tingling spooktacular is great. Here's my first volume of Snot Girl. I did read them issue by issue when I used to read comics, but I don't know. Maybe if I read volume 2 and 3, I'll like it, but it just came out. It came out bi-monthly, so I just slowly stopped reading it. Here's a comic I have that I love. Lenore. Pretty nostalgic to me. I actually was scared of this as a child, but like, kids shouldn't be reading this. Here's one of my Snot Girl issues. I kept them in the little packets, I guess. And I got this on Free Comic Book Day when I was young, so this embarrassingly still has the sticker. I recommend Watchmen to everybody. Next up on this shelf, we have a skater from Lucky Star and K-On! I have a little bit of manga over here, but I have more. I lost it. I don't know where it is. So I have this hilariously huge Death Note copy. This is it, and that's great. So basically, every page is just like a regular manga, except it's incredibly hard to read and open. But otherwise, I love it. I love this thing. I don't need any other copies or volumes of this. I just have my one. My big boy. Here's a fun little story by Inio Asano. I love this author. I did read Girl on the Shore, but I do not own that book. This is basically about a manga artist, just like Inio Asano, who has lots of problems with relationships and life. The artwork in this is beautiful. Beautiful. Look at that. It's not like regular manga style. It's more like a stylized, realistic human. I love how that looks so much. But I definitely don't really recommend this if you're like really sad. But I'm really sad and I read a lot of sad things, so if you're into it, it's cool. This is on my TBR. I actually ordered this thinking it was the manga version, but I guess it's a light novel, so that's great. I'm still gonna like reading it. I just really wish it was the manga. Here's a book. One of the first books I actually liked reading in like my freshman year of high school is Milk and Honey. This book is basically a selection of poems by Rupi Kaur. I'm not sure how to pronounce their name. It's basically what every girl was posting, with illustrations like this about heartbreak and just how someone uses you and your life just feels really sad, and sometimes you feel very wasted. I love the way that this feels. I remember that I read it because someone lent it to me, and I read it, and then I went and bought it because I wanted to keep it. Second poetry book, Egghead by Bo Burnham. I annotated this one. Kind of weird. I kept them so out of the pages. I guess let's look at one of the annotations I did. Us. I'll love you until I'm dead on the outside. I'll give you every one of my mortal seconds. I'll never leave your side. I'll die holding your hand. But after that, I want some me time. Great one, Bo. Thank you. Thank you for that. I would definitely recommend this to people. I got this a long time ago. Like, after I was probably in, like, 8th grade, I got this, and I just read it, like, a year ago. Less than a year ago. I still read it this year. It's great. I love it. This is a book that is very dense. It's hard for me to read this. I remember liking this and reading it for like a week, and then it was actually not a great experience. I hate when books are formatted like this. Like, every single page is so squished. I'm not a fan. By the way, it is irrelevant now that we've found the Zodiac Killer. Also, this book is on my TBR. I'm actually just getting back into reading since I was younger. I never really read anything as a kid. I just chose not to. And I feel like I got all dumb and now I want to read. I got this book a while ago. Still haven't read it. I got this book in 6th grade. I remember reading like 3/4 of it and just stopping, so I gotta read that too. This book is really sad. But I'm really happy that I have it. Here's a little bookmark I made. Isn't that cute? Oh. And here was a signed copy of I Want to Be Where the Normal People Are by Rachel Bloom. This is what it looks like. This is her signature. I don't know. Reading this made me cry. I'm a faker because I haven't read most of the books that I have, and it just makes me so sad because I love to read, but then actually when I'm reading, I'll do it, and then for a few days I just won't read again. It's like this book, I didn't finish it, but I read a lot of it and just stopped. So I actually really loved Girl in Pieces, so I wanted to get this book. But the thing is, I started annotating it and like with pencil, and I don't love the way it looks. I don't like it. But it's a good book so far. I am currently reading it. Helter Skelter. When I was very interested in the Manson murders when I was younger. And it is an interesting book. It's clear cut. It's a lot of information. It is sometimes scary to get through. Has little curves. It's basically like my Stephen King and classics shelf. So, the first book I have on the shelf is this book, The Perfect Couple. Not read it. I really want to read it, so. I have The Silent Patient. I made this bookmark. Okay, let's get into Chuck Palahniuk. I've actually read this. Survivor. This is a copy from the 90s. I have a copy of Invisible Monsters that is also from the 90s. The pages aren't too yellow. This book is basically about a man named Tender who was a survivor of a cult and encountered a lot of suicide growing up. And it was pretty interesting to me. Just the story takes so many turns where it's like, this is unbelievable. I don't love the metallic-y kind of book cover, but I thrifted this, so it's fine. I do recommend reading this if you like Palahniuk. I did forget to mention that I have this, and it's like halfway annotated. A book I really recommend is this. Sadly, it got all wet, so the pages are like oddly folded now. Like, I love the formatting of it. It's easy to read, and I love the way it's narrated. Basically just like the show. I love the show if it's not apparent. See, now the problem is, I have thrifted a lot of books, but many of these books are only Stephen King. I did not thrift this one, but I did thrift this, which I do have The Shining, and I am almost done with it, and then I will read Dr. Sleep. Here's my copy of The Shining. Here's The Shining. I have this. They're all kind of like these mini copies. They're They're like the $8 books instead of the bigger ones that are like better formatted, but this is what I have. I did read this, Everything's Eventual. I had this for probably over 6 years. It actually got me into liking Stephen King in the first place, so...
Actually, that's wrong.
The first book that I liked by Stephen King was The Dead Zone, and I actually enjoyed reading it. Have the Night Shift. And as you can see, there are all these, like, little copies, which is fine. Green Mile. Okay, I thrifted this. Is this really Tom Hanks' signature? Can somebody... if anybody watches this, can somebody tell me? Is this his signature? Because they gave it to me for like $5. In my opinion, this copy of it is really ugly. I do not love it. I hate how small the words are. I want a new copy. I'm not loving all the books I have with this, like, sort of, here's the title and then a picture. I don't like that. Same thing. Title, picture. Title, picture. And this has better format. This does. I do actually think that. But they all happen to be very old and yellowing, which I do love that look on books. I like how it looks. But it gets hard to read sometimes for me. Hard to focus when the words are so tiny, but I'm just gonna have to get used to it. These are the classics I have, and I just got this today for $1. Catcher in the Rye. I did read it in high school, and I really liked it, but I'm gonna reread it. This is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. But as you can see, it is very yellow, and it was originally sold for $1.25. And the cover is all ripped. But that's just a good loved book, in my opinion. Was this really published in 1962? Is this older than my parents? I think you can tell. I think you can really tell. Look at that. Look at him. Next, I have a book I actually paid for. Compared to this book, $1.25 in 1962, I paid $16 for this. And okay, 75th anniversary edition, okay. It's not worth it. I love this book. I wish I'd found it at a thrift store. And this was $16. Okay, George Orwell. I actually read it though. I gave it 5 stars out of 5 stars. Fuck pigs. I also got this for $1. I got this for $1. It says $1. $2 for both these books. Dante's The Inferno. I understand that this is a piece of a larger story, but I just got The Inferno because I saw it and I really wanted it, and it's a Barnes & Noble classic, so... Do I plan on reading The Divine Comedy? Maybe. And lastly on this shelf is something that I just got that I'm actually reading, and I'm actually having a blast. Just kidding. It's actually really hard for me to read. And I did not thrift this one. This was $1. It was $13. Which is okay. Victor Hugo's Les Miserables. $13. I could have found this somewhere for like a couple of dollars online, but it's beautiful. It's in great condition. I have jeans as a little bookmark. I know that nobody asked me to put a video about my bookshelf or this corner of my room or what's going on in it, but I just wanted to make a little thing. I just wanted to make a little video for YouTube. I have the McDonald's Pokemon cards. And just so you know, I have a Kindle. I do a couple of reading things on there too. And I'm going to recommend you guys a movie. I think you should all watch Her. It's a great film. If you like this video, thank you for watching it. I don't really have subscribers, but thank you for finding this and watching this. I'm going to invest my time into reading and getting better in art. And I did leave this book out, Alice in Wonderland. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. This is also on my little classics. That's all I got. Thank you. If anybody wants to see another video like this or a little reading journey, maybe I'll make one day. See ya.